The fibroids made me feel as though I was bloating because the fibroid was rather large and it was pressing on like my bladder, so it made me feel very uncomfortable, like I had to urinate all the time, and I had a little pooch in my stomach area, and there was, of course, the severe bleeding. When my menstrual cycle, I would just bleed heavily, and sometimes I would also bleed for longer than my normal 5 days of my menstrual cycle. It would go on for days. Fibroids impacted my lifestyle far as, you know, I'm a very active, you know, young woman, and I have a 17-year-old son, so he would keep me busy of moving and going. And during the time of, you know, me with the fibroid, I would always feel like really drained, didn't really want to participate and do anything, or if I was experiencing the heavy bleeding at that time, I would just have to be like bedridden. So it was a bit, you know, uncomfortable for me. Well, the symptoms that were a little bit more, of course, was the heavy bleeding. That was just caused, you know, I thought it was more drama in my life because, you know, it was just, I would soil my, you know, my clothing and, you know, car seat. It was just, you know, it just wasn't, it was very uncomfortable. And then the pain also. I was offered to have birth control pills, as you know, but I started on birth control pills at a young age, and I wasn't comfortable with taking the birth control pills, so that wasn't an option for me, and I was trying to seek another avenue. Well, my experience with Dr. Tahiri was a very pleasant experience. From the first time that I ever met him, I had attended a seminar at a church, and he was sharing information there, and it was a very nice seminar where they shared lunch, and it made you really feel comfortable, and he really explained the procedure, and so therefore I took it further, and I wanted to find out a little bit more about Dr. Tahiri, and then I went online, and then I researched Dr. Tahiri as well as the UFE procedure, and from day one we had a wonderful relationship, and I felt very, very comfortable, and I shared it with my family and friends, and we decided that that would be the better, you know, procedure or way to go, you know, and I'm glad that he was the doctor that I chose to have my procedure. The young ladies that I experienced here at Dr. Tahiri's office were always pleasant, you know, and with me being such a busy woman, they would always call and remind me of my visits and remind me that, okay, tomorrow you have an appointment at 9 o'clock. So that was very important to me, and I always look forward to coming here. It was very pleasant. For my returning to my visits, Dr. Tahiri has shared with me that the fibroid has shrunk dramatically, and I'm not experiencing, you know, those horrible symptoms that I had, such as the bleeding and the pain and the urinating and the gas and the bloatingness. So, you know, my life is much better after the procedure of the UFE. You can get back to your lifestyle after a week or two, and the procedure was non-invasive. You know, they just go in the side and insert a catheter to block off the blood flow to the fibroid. So it was a very nice procedure. You know, of course, you know, any time you have to go under anesthetic or anesthesia, I should say, that, but I would highly recommend the UFE over a hysterectomy or a myomectomy.